Okay. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna plot this kind of graph today. Okay, different type of graph. So yeah. So this is graph, right? And then the whole thing here in Excel we call chart area. Okay, chart area contain some things like this thing, the chart, right? In this case, this particular chart we call a pie chart. Okay. This inside the chart area we have not only the graph, we have like the chart title, we have like the legends, to tell like in this different data maker, the data marker was this thing. Like for example, this is a pie chart that we're gonna create like this pie chart later on to tell like the the production of the wine for a particular company, like this. Like for example, for this blue color is represent as Chardonnay, which is a white wine. Like this orange is white, another white wine called white Riesling, and then Pinot Grigio, this one, and the other three are like the red wine. Okay, and then these numbers here, in percentage here, we call this one data labels, which is a text that associate with individual data markers here. Okay, this one we show as percentage, or you can show as actual number. Okay. And then to plot this, to plot this graph, we need some data from data source. So in this case, we select the data from this data source. Okay. So the most important thing when you plot the graph is the data. Okay, so you got to find the data from some data source, and then the data source in this case there are two parts. Like the first part in this case, this part, the text part here, we call category value. So these are the groups or category that the data series value belong to. Okay, so this part we call data series. Data series contain the actual value that we use to plot the graph. Okay, so data series are numbers, okay, or the actual data that we use to plot this graph. Okay, and then the text here are what we call as category value, which eventually will become the legends in the graph. Okay, so that's all the components inside the graph. Okay, so this example of pie chart, this one example of column chart. Yeah, this is a specific type of column chart. This thing we call cluster column chart. This one we call stack column chart, because we stack the column on top of each other. So we can learn just how to plot it a little bit. Okay. So yeah, why don't we I think you all know about the graph. So let's try to open the file and then just create the chart. Okay, please open the Excel file called labeled dash is201. Okay, so the file will look something like this. Okay, so please open up the file. So to create the chart, very simple. Okay, just briefly, just quick before we do it. So to create the chart, very simple. First, you just have to find your data source. Okay, so a data source, right, is a place that is include a data source. It will include one or more data series. Okay, and a series of category values. Okay, so you just have to find where your data source is. Of course, in our class, mostly I give you the data source, except in the homework today, I will ask you to go find some data source to plot the graph for the homework. Okay, I'll explain a bit later, but suppose like like for this class, for today's class, I give you data source. Like for example, once you open the Excel file, you see this data source. Okay, so in this case, you see this data source that is say that this is the production of the wine for this company. Okay, so they produce 6 type of wine, and these are the number of cases that they plan to produce in the next 10 years. Okay, so in Excel, okay, there are many types of chart. Okay, Excel group it into 10 categories. So these are the 10 categories of the charts that Excel provided you. So here are some of them. Okay, these are the column chart, line chart, pie chart, bar chart, area chart, scatter plot, stock, surface, radar, and combo. Today we will learn how to plot like column chart, line chart, pie chart, radar chart, and combo chart. Okay, so column chart, we use it to compare value from different category. So value are indicated by the height of the columns. Okay, and line chart, we compare the value from different category, and value indicated by the height of the lines. Okay, often used to we use it to show the trend and then change over time. Okay, that's line chart, right? For example, you want to show like the rate, right, of GDP, right? So in this case, you can use the line chart, or you show the growth of the revenue for a particular companies. Maybe you use line chart, right? Or pie chart. Okay, pie chart, like as I showed you earlier, right? We use it to compare relative value of different category to the whole. Right? Value are indicated by the areas of the pie slice, right? For example, we use pie chart to show the market share, right, of companies in a particular industry. Like for example, that's we use pie chart. Right? And then bar chart, we compare value from different category. Value are indicated by the length of the bar chart, the length of the bar. Okay, actually bar chart and column chart is the same.
It's the same.
Pretty much the same. Bar chart is just the column chart that turn on the side. Okay. And then the other chart we're gonna learn is a radar chart. Okay, radar chart, we use it to compare a collection of value from several different data sets. Okay, I'll show you what I mean later. And then combo chart. This one we use it to combine. This one it combine 2 or more chart types to make the data easy to visualize. Okay, especially when the data is widely varied. Okay, like for example, suppose when you have 2 types of data, you want to plot in one chart. Okay, but the problem is the two types of data, the value are like one is maybe it's not so big, but the other one is so the series are very big. The other one series is not so big. When you plot in the same graph, you cannot see the other series that well, because usually when you plot it, you show on the scale of the bigger one, so you might not see the smaller one clearly. So I'll show you the example. Okay, in that case, you might want to use the combo chart. It's very useful actually. Okay, so today we're gonna learn how to plot column chart, line chart, pie chart, radar chart, and combo chart. Okay, but the first one, we start with the pie chart, the one I showed you earlier. So pie chart, okay, is a chart in the shape of a circle divided into a slice like a pie, right? Each slice is represent a single value from a data series. Okay, larger data values are represented by bigger slice of pie, and then the relative size of slice will let you visually compare the data values and see how much each contribute to the whole. Yeah, and then this is a guideline. The guideline is pie chart are most effective with 6 or fewer slides. Okay, and when each slide is large enough to view visually, easily. So so if you have the category value 6 or less, then in that case, I think it's better to use pie chart to compare. But whenever you have to compare like 10, 12 more cases, in that case, you should not use pie chart. Like for example, if you want to compare like number of the sales the whole year, like you want to see the sale of the whole year, each month. In that case, you should not use pie chart because too many. When you do slice it, it's I mean too many slices of pie in the circle. So might not be a good idea to use pie chart. Maybe you should consider using something else, like maybe a column chart or a bar chart in that case. Okay, so let's try to create the pie chart. So first thing, we just find the data source, right, and then highlight it, and then just create. Okay, let me try to show you. So let's pop up Excel. So this is the file Levitt's winery. So this one is a financial data that a employee prepare for this company. They estimated that this is the estimation of their production of the wine in the next 10 years. So this is the production. Okay. But we're gonna work on this for the pie chart. We're gonna work on this worksheet. Okay, please go to overview worksheet. Just let's try to create pie chart together easily. So we just highlight this area, or this is the data source for us, right? We highlight it. We go to insert. Okay, so if you're not so sure what type of graph you're going to use, you can go to recommended charts here. Okay, so Excel will suggest you. Or if you already know, if you already decided which type of graph you're going to use. So in this case, I know I'm going to use like the pie chart. I'll do 2D pie chart. So I just click it. That's it. I get the chart I want. Very simple. Here, they put the top of the my data series here to be the title of the chart. Okay, and then they add this part, which is category value, to be my legend. Okay, and then suppose if I want to add some of the their labels, I can add by clicking. If you are using Mac, they have add chart element button here. If you're using Windows, they will have a plus button here on the right of this chart area of this window. There was a add chart element. You can do that. So in this case, suppose I want, like, so I want data call out. I can do something like this, or up to you. Right? Or you can do inside and like this, or center like this. So really up to you. Yeah. And then you can format the label that you want. You can have the value, or you can have it in percentage style. So it's really or if you don't want the category name, you can just do the percentage only. It's totally fine. So about like formatting, I let you decide. Okay. So I think about this thing is nothing much. Okay. So that's actually that's That's a pie chart. Okay, also pie chart, if you want to change the color, suppose you want to emphasize, okay, you want to make this thing stand out. Like suppose you don't want this color, you want to change this color into some color that you want. You can just click, right, to select only this one, and you go to this fill, and then you can change the color that you want. Suppose I want red to stand out like this, I can change it to red. You can do something like this. Okay, I think for pie chart should be very simple. Okay, any question?
อาจารย์คะกดให้แท็บข้างๆมันขึ้นมายังไง
แท็บไหนครับ
ด้านข้าง format shape อะค่ะ
อันนี้เหรอฮะ
ใช่ค่ะ
so you using Mac or using Windows ครับ
Windows ค่ะ
Windows ก็เหมือนกันนะฮะ ไม่ขึ้นเหรอ
หนูกดไม่ขึ้นค่ะอาจารย์กด
color ขึ้นปะแบบว่าคือ first thing you have to select this one นะฮะ select this pie นะฮะ to make it selection นะฮะสองสามทีอะให้ขึ้นเห็นปะเห็นว่าตัวนี้มันผม select ตัวเนี้ยแล้ว
ขึ้นแล้ว
ขึ้น
ค่ะขึ้นแล้วค่ะข
โอ
อบ
เค
คุณ
ครั
ค่ะ
บครับ โอเค any other question ครับ Okay, I think next we go to the next graph. Okay, we can go to, I think for other you can format. You can go play and format. You can play with it. Next one we go to we do the column chart. And so column chart and bar chart. Column chart will display the value in different category as columns. Okay, the height of each column is based on its value. Okay, and then as I said, similar bar chart, column chart turn on its size, right? Length of each bar is based on its value. So it's better to use column chart and bar charts than pie when the number of category is large or the data values are close in value, right? So as I told you before, right? So if you have many data series to compare, you should use column chart or bar chart. Okay, so for column chart, there are three types. Okay, there are cluster column chart that looks something like this, stack column chart, and then 100% stack column chart. Okay, three types. The first one, cluster column chart. Cluster column chart will display the data series in separate columns side by side so that you can compare the relative height of the columns. So as you can see here, this one they put the series side by side. That's why we call it cluster columns. Next one we call stack column chart. This one it places the data series value within the combined columns, showing how much is contributed by each series. So this one, instead of it put side by side, it stack on top. Okay, instead of by side stack on top. Okay, that's one stack column chart. And then the next one is 100% stack column chart. It makes the same comparisons as the stack column chart, except that the stack section are expressed as percentage. So similar as this one, right? It makes it stack like this, but instead of it show actual value, it show as percentage 100%. So it increased to 100%. So from this one, it changed into 100%. This one changed to 100%. That's it. Okay, so that's how. Okay, so let's try to create the column chart. Okay, let's do the first column chart. Oh, okay. By the way, when you create the chart, okay, when you create a chart like this, maybe what you can say, what you could do, for your, it's a good practice for your presentation, or maybe when you make a presentation, or when you attach something, right? When you have slide and then you have picture or graph, I think you should have some sentence to explain or to summarize the chart that you include, because sometimes you only have pictures. Maybe audience might not understand or might not know what you are trying to convey the message from the picture or from the graph. So in this case, maybe you can say something like, okay, this graph show like the production of this company, right? And then and then you can say something like, okay, the company produce like Chardonnay the most at 30%, at about 31%, something like that. And then maybe like Ruby Cabernet the least or something like that. Okay, and then maybe you try to summarize in a few sentences. I think in that case, audience will understand or will know what you are trying to tell them. Okay, so let's take a look at another one. Okay, this one. Let's try to create this graph. Okay, let's try to create the projected revenue versus the expense of the company. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so let's go to our file, Excel file. So let's go to the projected cash flow. Okay, so where's the revenue? This is a revenue. Okay, where's expense here? Okay, so since we don't take any loan, let's delete this row. Right, again, right, to delete the row, just click on this and then just right click and then delete. Okay, and then let's select the row that we want to plot in the graph. So in this case, we want this, the year, the revenue, and then the expense. However, if we highlight like this, it will get all the row in between. So how can I select the row that are not so consecutive? So first, I select the first row, and then I click the command button in Mac. I think in Excel, you click on the control button, and then press and hold, and then you can do something like this. So now I can select these 3 rows, and I can go to insert. And then suppose in this case, I know that I want to use this one cluster column chart. I can just click and then let go the mouse. Now I can resize it. So I make this chart. If I want to change the name of the chart, just double click it. I can just say projected revenue and expense, something like this. Okay, so this one is a cluster column chart of this company project that we use to plot the projected revenue and expense. So you can see that there's a line here. This line we call grid line. Okay, why do we need grid line? Like in some case, suppose we don't want to plot we don't want to show the data labels here. Maybe sometimes it's hard for us to see what is this value. If we already print out in the paper, right? So it's hard to see. So maybe some grid line will help us to visualize. So this line is maybe close. This column is close to this bar. To this line. So it's almost like 1.8 million, something like that. So it helps us to see the value of each column easier. But for some people, if they don't like it, you can get rid of it, right? To get rid of it, you just click and then right click and then delete. Some people might like it clear like this. Totally okay. It's up to your taste. Up to your taste. Up to your preference. Which one you like? You like it clean or you want the lines? Up to you. Okay. So in this case also, maybe after you plot, maybe after you plot the graph, you can summarize. Okay. Maybe you can say, okay, something like the company, right? Revenue grows steadily, right? And the revenue exceed the expense by year 6, something like this. Maybe that could be some kind of summaries that you can do for this chart, right? So in that case, the audience can say, oh, okay, that's the kind of message you try to tell the audience. Okay. So you should at least give some message to the audience, I think. Okay. Any question? So this one, the cluster column chart. Okay. Next one. Let's go to the next chart, which is the stack column chart. For stack column chart, let's create. So suppose we want to know, okay, the contribution of the expense of this company. We want to see the contribution of the expense of this company in each year. Okay, in each year. Okay, so we want something that look like this. We want the expense of each year. Okay, we want the breakdown of expense of each year. So let's use the stack column chart. Okay, so how do we do it? So we find the data source. So here I highlight the year, and then this is my data source. Okay, I say insert. Yeah, I know I want this one. So I record it. So I can just say, oops. Breakdown of expense. Okay. So I can see some. So that's it. Right. So which expense contribute the most for this company here? What do you think? Which expense? Could be labor. Yeah, could be labor. Yes, right. Or if we want to change, right? If you want to express this graph instead of this type, we can change to 100% stack column. So instead of choosing the data source one more time and create another graph, we can just change the graph here, change the type of graph here by clicking the chart area here, and then right click, okay, and then you can do change chart type, and then go to the we go to columns, and then we could do 100% chart, 100% stack column here. So it's going to change to this one. So easier to see that this one is dominate the cost or the expense of the company. Or you can go here, change chart type. So many places you can do. I think once you play with it more, you become more familiar with the menu in Excel. Okay. So you don't have to select the data source. You can just change the data the chart type here. Okay. So this is a column chart. Okay. Any question on pie chart and column chart? As I told you, chart is gonna be quick. Okay. Next, why don't we create this line chart? Very simple. Line chart, we use it to display a connected line. Okay. Instead of a column or bar right now, we just do it a connected line. Like in this case, suppose we want to create this cash flow. Okay. So how do we do cash? How do we create this graph for the cash flow? Let me move this quick. So I just do this. Insert, right? Line chart. That's it. So as you can see, right, cash flow of this company start, of course, is negative and it's turned positive by year 6. To create chart, I think quite simple. I mean, the thing that we talked so far. Okay. So let's go to a bit more interesting one, which is this one. Let's do this one, a combination chart. Okay, a combination chart combine two chart types within a single chart. Okay, it enables you to show to the set of data using the chart type that is based for each data set. So can have their series with vastly different values. Okay, so it can create dual axis chart using primary and secondary axis. Okay, so let's create this chart. So this chart is a chart between net income and then case produced and sold. Okay, let's try to do this. So I want to plot the net income that I can generate from the number of wine that I produce and sold. Okay, let's go to our data source, which is this one, of course. So this is a case produced and sold, right? And then this is my net income. Let's plot the graph based on this data source. So I highlight it. I do select this net income. Suppose I do this. Let's take a look what happened. I do stack column on this two data series. This is what happened. If I plot these two data series on one axis, both using cluster column chart, you see what happened? This is net income. This is case produced and sold. This is a correct graph, but it's very hard to read this data series, right? Because why? Because the data for the case produced and sold is at most less than 10,000, right? Less than 10,000 here. Whereas the data for net income start from negative, like almost negative 200,000 to about 600,000. So the number is so much difference. So in this case, you should what? You should use it. You should use combination chart. You should use combination chart. Like the income should be on one axis, and then the case produced and sold should be on another axis. Which axis depend on you? Like for example, like people, usually in terms of money, right? Money, profit, those kind of things, people like it to be on the primary axis, on the left axis. Something else, usually you put on the right axis. Something that we focus on, we put on the left axis. That's common, right? We put on the primary axis. So let's try to make this on the combination chart. Okay, let's start from the beginning. So let's highlight data, our data source. Okay, so depend on your machine. I'm using Mac, so you can go here and then go to this area. So this one is combo chart in one axis. This one combo chart in two axes. Okay, they have two axes for you. So you just click here. For Windows, I think you if you go to recommended chart, you go down, they have combo chart. You can do the same thing. Okay. Here. Okay. This is the default. It gives us something like this, but this not what we want yet, right? Doesn't look exactly the same. It's not exactly the same yet. In this case, what we want the net income. Okay, let's try to format this together. Let's format net income, okay, which is this one, right, to be what? To be the cluster column chart in orange. Okay, how can we do it? So the way I do it, I just click on the chart itself, right click, I do chart, change chart type, I change to cluster column chart like this. So it look, now it's okay. Now I change this one, right, into line chart. Okay. And then I change the color. I want this one, right, into what color? Okay, I want this one into blue color, and then the line into orange color, right? I want opposite. Is it okay? Now, what else do I want? I want my net income to be on the primary axis, and then the case produced and sold to be on the secondary axis here on the right here. So how do I do it? So I just click on the data series here, right click, and then go to format data series. Okay, it will give me plot series on. Right now it's a secondary axis, so I want to be plot on primary axis. I want this to be plot on primary axis. I just click this one. And then for this one, I want it to be plot on the secondary axis, right? So it looks something like this. Is it correct? I chose it opposite again. Okay, I should redo it one just quick. Okay, this one should be orange. Okay, this one should be orange. Right. Oh. And this one should be blue. Okay, and I change the title. Okay. โอเคไหมครับ
อาจารย์คะขออีกรอบหนึ่งนะคะไอตรงแอดไลน์เข้าไปอะค่ะแอด2กราฟเข้าด้วยกัน
Are you using Mac or Windows ครับ
Mac ค่ะ
Okay, let's do one more time นะครับอย่างนั้นthen I'll try to do on Windows one more time also. Okay, let me try to start from beginning ก็ได้นะครับ So we can do something like this. So first I highlight the data series first, right? The data source first, sorry. Okay, I click insert here.
อาจารย์คะ how do you like select two series อะคะ
ก็อันนี้ก่อนถูกไหม and then you press and hold the command keyboard ฮะ on Mac นะฮะ หรือว่าจะเป็น control keyboard on Windows อ่ะ ได้ไหม press and hold แล้วก็ลาก
ขอบคุณค่ะ
ได้ไหมครับ so now you get something like this on Macintosh นะครับ okay until here is it okay ไหมครับ for someone who asked me is okay. So now I change this. So first let's change this to right now it's chart line chart, right? So let's change this one to column chart. And then let's change this to the line chart. Okay. And then let's plot this one. Right now, the net income is plot on the secondary axis. Right. So let's try to plot this on the primary axis. So let's try to make this by flipping this on the primary axis. So let me plot this. So let's select it and then go to format data series ตรงนี้นะครับ and then in here plot series on. So we select primary axis. If you select this, okay, this one will be the primary axis. Okay. Then this one, okay, we want to is right now is on the primary axis also, but now we want it to plot on the secondary axis. So we do the same thing. We go to format data series. We want it to plot on secondary axis. So now it's plot on secondary axis. อย่างนี้ได้ไหม โอเคไหมครับ Okay. The student who just asked me about this, any question ไหมครับ Okay, for student who use Windows, can you do it? answer
หนูพอเปลี่ยนเป็นแบบลายค่ะ มันเปลี่ยนลายไปทั้ง2 อันเลย
เปลี่ยนทีละตัวได้เปล่า Okay,
No.
why don't we do this? Can you share me your screen so I can tell you? ดีไหม
หนูเข้าอันนี้ใน iPad งั้นเดี๋ยวหนูขอเข้าทีมในคอมแป๊บนึงนะคะ
อ๋ออันนี้คุณใช้บน Excel บน Mac หรือบน Windows ฮะ
อันนี้หนูใช้ Excel ในคอมค่ะแล้วหนูก็เข้า MS Team โดย iPad
โอเคถ้าคุณพร้อมคุณแชร์สกรีนได้เลยนะครับ Because so today I don't have much thing to teach, so you can ask me question. That's why I keep asking. You have any question? Okay.
ขอแป๊บนึงนะคะ คอมดับแบตหมด
ไม่เป็นไร
อาจารย์คะได้แล้วคือมันตอนแรกมันเป็นอย่างนี้ถูกไหมคะ แล้วก็ต้องเปลี่ยนสีฟ้าเป็นแบบลาย
อันนี้คุณเป็นบนทำนี่บน Mac หรือบน Windows นะเนี่ย
Windows ค่ะ
โอเค has to be combo chart ฮะ first โอเค
เปลี่ยนอันนี้ก่อนใช่ไหมคะ
งั้นเดี๋ยวอย่างนี้ โอเคงั้นคุณทำก่อน โอเค ได้ครับ so that 1 2
แล้วก็อันนี้เปลี่ยนไปเป็นคอมโบเฮ้ยเปลี่ยนเป็นค
ถู
อก
แล้ว
ลัมน์
ถูกแล้ว คอมโบแล้วไง เมื่อกี้เป็นคอมโบ
combo
แล้ว ใช่ ทีเนี้ยเห็นปะข้างเนี่ยตรงเมนูคุณอะ net income เห็นปะ no
ตรงนี้
จากลายเป็นอะไร to
อันนี้เหรอคะ
yes okay and then the other one also you have to change that one to okay
เปลี่ยนเป็นอันนี้เหรอคะ
yes and then which one to be the secondary chart secondary axis which one you should tick no you should tick you okay go back to that window again
โอเค
okay you check secondary axis on the case cursor and ถูกแล้วฮะอันเนี้ยแล้วก็ขวามือฮะขวามือที่มันเป็นช่องว่างไว้โอเคแป๊บหนึ่งปิดลงมาเห็นปิดแล้วก็ตรงนี้ครับ secondary axis เห็นปะ
เห็นค่ะ ค่ะ
โอเคไหมครับ
โอเคค่ะ
โอเคไหมครับ so other student can you see this is how you do it for the Windows machine because I show you on the Mac right so the menu on the Mac and then menu on Windows machine are a bit different so that's how you do it on Windows machine actually I was gonna boot okay let me show you quick one more time. Okay, thank you very much ครับคุณอะไรเนี่ย
คุณค่ะ
คุณ
ขอบคุณ
โอเคสตาร์พรป่ะครับ
สาธพรค่ะ
สตาร์พรขอบคุณมากครับ
ขอบคุณ
โอเค
ค่ะ
Let me just do this thing quick. Okay, please wait a bit. Let me, because my window machine a bit slow, so please hold on with me. Okay, can you see my screen? Can you hear me?
เห็นค่ะ ได้ยินค่ะ
Okay, because now I'm using my Windows machine. Okay, so this I will do on Windows. So I select this. Okay, I select this also. And then I press Control button. I go to net income here. Actually, Windows machine may be a bit easier to do it. So and then I click insert. So I go to, you can go to recommended chart, all chart type, combo อย่างนี้ก็ได้นะฮะ and then you can select net income to be cluster column, and then case produce and so you can do the line chart, and then you want line chart here to be on the secondary axis, so you put it here. So it looks something like this. Okay, so that's how you do it. Or same thing, if you want to change the chart type, you can just do this. Right, same thing as what you did earlier. So that's how you do it. So depend on which machine you use. So okay. Okay. So one more thing I want you to try. No, few more things, not one more thing. Okay, now let me go back to use on the Mac on Mac machine. Okay. Okay. Now. Okay. So we do that combo chart. So what else? How? I think one more thing. Okay, one more chart. We do. We do radar chart also, and then I'll ask you to do something. Radar chart. Okay, you know what radar chart is? Radar chart looks something like this. Okay. Graph looks something like this. Have you seen this type of chart? Like we use it to compare. Okay, we use it to compare people, right? Suppose we want to, like, we want to accept applicant, right, for BBA student, right? We have many criteria. Like for example, SAT score. We look for SAT score, GPA, extracurricular activities, others, right? Many components, and then we give the ranking for each student, and then we plot, right, on and then we plot on this graph. So we can use this kind of graph to plot to see the overall student compared to each other. So that's how, right? So, or here I give you some example. If you open a file called radar chart here, suppose there's a company, okay, trying to buy a machine from three separate supplier, from supplier A, B, and C. So the company that you are working, they are looking for. So these are the features, okay, or the criteria that your company is looking for from those three suppliers. The output means for performance, warranty, affordability, and then support. And then you give the ranking. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And then you plot, so to see which one is preferable. So you just highlight, and then you insert. You go to here, and then go to radar chart. That's it. Very simple. Okay. So in this case, you can see here, each color here represent each supplier or each product from different companies. And then at the corner here, these are the characteristic or the feature that you want to compare. So for example, like in terms of support, right? Product B is better, right? But in terms of affordability, maybe product C is better. Something like this. So these are different. These are example of the radar chart, or sometimes we call, or some people call spider chart. So depend on you call it. Some people call spider chart, some people call radar chart. Okay. Or another one, you can switch the rows and the columns. In this case, here we put the product at the corner. Before we put the features at the corner. Here we put the product at the corner. In this case, you can see that, oh, okay, in terms of product, right? So product C, here these are the like these are the numbers of the score that product C get, right? This is one for product B, and then this one for number for product, the number that product A get, something like this. So depend on how you want to represent your data, in this style or in this style. So it depends. So this one is also useful when you want to compare people or product in different dimension. Yeah, this one we call it radar chart or spider chart. Okay, and lastly, maybe I want you to try this. Can you please help me by open up this file? Okay, can you please plot this graph for me? This is a graph of one stock price, one stock, okay, on the left side is plot the closing value. And on the right side is the volume of the trading on any particular days. Yeah. So on x-axis is on the trading days. Okay. On the left side, on the primary axis will be the closing value. On the right axis is the volume of trading on a particular day. And then on the volume here, since the volume is a lot, when you plot, you will see the volume is in in millions, right? So I don't want that too many zeros. Can you cut down zeros, and then you show it only like instead of 10 with a lot of zero here, you just type 10, 20, 30, 40. So can you plot something that looks something like this for me? Okay. And then the data that I provide you is in here. In this file. Sorry. It's in this file, stock exercise is201. Okay. So data, this is a date, open value, high value, low value, closing value, and volume. So I give you the data here. So what I want you to plot the graph that looks something like this. Okay, let's try to do it in 5 minutes. Okay, let's do it now. And once you're done, please let me know. Or if you have any question, you can ask me. Finish? Okay, any question? So how do we do it? So in this case, let me show you. So we highlight, right, the date. Okay, so the date will be our x-axis. Okay. Okay, and then this one, the closing value and the volume, right? And we go insert, and then we do the combination chart, right? Is it correct? Okay. Hold on, let me do something. Okay. So we want this to be the line chart. Right, and we want the volume to be the column chart. Okay. And then maybe this one, I ask you to format a little bit. Right, you can do format axis. So here, I want you to, instead of type the unit, instead of like type like or the 0 here, you just go to display unit here, change to million. So now the unit become millions here, and then you can just edit the way you want it. And then let's add the axis name, axis title here. So let's add some axis title here to be is a primary vertical, right? So something like closing value. Closing value. Okay, this could be like volume something. Something like this. Okay, any question ไหมครับ
อาจารย์ค่ะ เปลี่ยนหน่วยอีกรอบให้ดูได้ไหมคะ
ได้
แล้ว
ครั
ก็
บได้
ถ้า cost กับ value มันสลับข้างกันหนูต้องทำไงคะ
อันนี้ของคุณใช้อะไรอ่ะ ใช้ Windows
Windows ค่ะ Windows
ก็เมื่อกี้ไง ไปตรงเมื่อกี้ไง
มันสลับข้างได้เลยไหมคะ คือตอนนี้ cost หนูอยู่ด้านขวา
ก็อย่างที่บอกไงว่าทำยังไงก็คือเปลี่ยนก็เลือก closing value ให้มันเป็นไม่เลือกไอตัว volume ให้มันเป็น secondary axis ไงจำได้ไหมไปหน้าเมื่อกี้
ได้ค่ะ ขอแป๊บนึงกดแล้วค่ะ
เป็นยังสลับยัง
ยังค่ะ มันอยู่ข้างเดิม คือตอนนี้หนูแบบแบ่งเลเยอร์แล้วด้วย
ไหนโอเค can you show me your
โอเค
screen
ค่ะ
โอเคก็โอเคนะโอเค click on โอเค click on that right click ก็ได้ฮะ right click change series the chart type โอเค good โอเค volume ให้เป็นเป็นคอลัมน์ใช่ on top ฮะthat one okay and then volume ให้เป็น secondary axis ไงเช็คถูกไหม
ได้แล้วค่ะ แล้วตัวนี้เปลี่ยนยังไงนะคะ
double click มันโอเคแล้วก็ไปที่axis option แล้วก็ไปดูที่ตึ๊ดพอดีผมเดี๋ยวผมต้องเปิดเครื่อง Windows ผมก่อนแป๊บหนึ่งนะผมไม่ได้อยู่หน้าต้องเปิดaxis option ลองดูดิว่ามันน่าจะมีตรงที่ว่าเป็น unit อะฮะ unit มีไหมคุณมา double triple click มันใช่ไหมฮะแล้วมาที่มันเป็นรูปเดี๋ยวแป๊บนึงไปใหม่ออกก่อนตรงนี้ออกตรงนี้ก่อนไปกดตรงแท่งๆฮะเอาใหม่กดตรงยูนิตกดตรงนี้มาฮะตรงนี้เห็นละโอเคตรงนี้แหละลงมา display unit โอเค million Okay
อ๋อขอบคุณค่ะ
ครับผม Okay any other question ครับ Okay Okay how about this one ครับ last one try this one graph example ลองดูดิว่าได้ไหม this one นะฮะ please download this one actually used to be final exam that I gave to okay sorry ครับ this one I will ask you to generate this graph ครับ very simple graph but I'm not so sure whether you can do it now but let's try so this is please open the worksheet called safety data นะครับ so the safety data worksheet show the workplace safety report of one company นะฮะ it show the information about the incidents such as a date of incidents injury location นะฮะ gender of the person who is involved in the incident age group they lost from work plant and then yeah I mean of course they have question 5a but I focus on question 5b now. So please try to plot the graph that looks something like this okay which is a graph on to plot the graph average incident cost per month by gender นะฮะ so the graph will look something like this based on this data okay try to plot the graph that looks something like this. Doesn't have to look exactly the same, but looks something like this. Because if you use Mac or Windows, might not look exactly the same, but looks something like this. Average incident cost per month by gender. Okay, so this is the data. Let's try. Okay. Okay, can you do it? Anyone finish?
ทำ gender ยังไงอะคะ
Gender แยก gender ไงฮะทำไงดี Can you separate gender? Remember how do we do it? Can we do it? We can sort it. Maybe I didn't teach you in detail, but we can sort it using filter, or we can do other things. But yeah, of course, this one, is I didn't teach you some features yet. I just want you to try. So let's keep this in mind. Okay, let's keep this question in your mind. Okay, if you want, I would like you to go back and try. But there are some features. If you search, if you try at home, you might be able to use to do it. But this is a question that I asked in a final exam 2 years ago, I think. Okay, but in the exam, my question will not be that hard for graphing. So it's like something like this. I'll just give like some data, maybe some question. I'll ask you like to plot some graph like this in Excel. This is one of the question in the previous exam. Okay, so for the graph type of question, it will not be hard. So it's something like this. Okay. As I said, graph should not be hard. So that's all for the graph. So for chart, I already post the assignment. So what I asked you to do, okay. So today, please go back and go find data. Okay. As I said, when you plot the graph, most important is the data. Go find data from any source. Okay, can be any type of graph. So generate at least 2 graphs. Okay, any type. Okay, can be combination chart, can be pie chart, bar chart, column chart, but make it look interesting and nice. And then for each chart that you generate, please summarize into one or few sentences per graph. So tell me what kind of message you're trying to tell from the graph that you create, and then save your file and then submit it and submit it by next Monday. That's it. Okay. So you just go download the data. Okay. I think data is everywhere right now. You can go search on the internet for data. Okay. For this one, for the one I show you, this one also I got it. I searched from the internet. Right now there are lots of data you can find. Like you can find like COVID data also, right? Maybe COVID easy right now. It should be everywhere. You can plot, or even could be data about like our economy right now. It's okay, totally okay. Okay, so just plot some graph, and then I just want you to plot the graph. That's all. Find the data and then plot the graph. That's it. Okay, graph should be simple, and that's it for today. Okay, I don't have much to talk about graph. So today, let's leave early today. That's it. Unless you have anything to ask me. Okay. Okay, thank you. I'll see you next time. ขอบคุณครับ
thank you ค่ะ
อาจารย์คะ I think I have a problem with selecting data like a long data อะค่ะ มันต้องทำยังไงให้แบบง่ายกว่านี้ไหมคะ
what do you mean ครับคุณ
It's like there are a lot of numbers in the columns and rows, so it is hard to select all of them. Do you have any shortcut for like select all the data in the columns?
what do you mean like this hold on แป๊บนึงคอลัมน์ในแต่ละ row เหรอฮะหรือในแต่ละอะไร
ใช่ค่ะแต่พอเวลามันแบบถ้ากดตรงตัว G ไปเลยมันก็จะทำเป็นชาร์ตไม่ได้ใช่ไหมคะ
คอลัมน์ในแต่ละเดี๋ยวแป๊บนึงนะนี่ผมแชร์อยู่ใช่ไหม
ใช่ค่ะ
นี่คุณใช้ Mac คุณใช้คอมพิวเตอร์หรือคุณใช้
ใช้ Mac ค่ะแต่ว่าพอเวลาแบบ select แบบselect แบบธรรมดามันชอบหลุดเลื่อนออกอะค่ะ
ผมเน้นคุณใช้เมาส์ป่ะหรือคุณใช้touch
อ๋อ
pad
ใช้ track
suggest อย่างหนึ่งได้ป่ะเชื่อผม
ได้ค่ะโอเคค่ะ
เชื่อผมนะเพราะว่าผมก็เหมือนกันครับผมมีปัญหาเหมือนกันในการใช้ touch pad ผมก็เพิ่งเปลี่ยนมาใช้ Mac ไม่นานใช่ไหมแล้วผมก็มีปัญหามากในการ select แล้วผมไม่ชินกับการใช้ touch pad แล้วผมก็หลุดเป็นคุณเลย
โอเค
แล้วนี่
ค่ะขอบคุณค่ะ
ขอโทษทีนะครับที่วิธีการที่ผม suggest มัน primitive มากแต่ว่าในการใช้ Excel เนี่ยผมว่านะ work ที่สุดคือไอ้เนี่ยนั่นคือเหตุผลที่ผมบอกว่านักศึกษาว่าไม่ควรใช้ iPad อันดับแรกแล้วสองคือผมว่า touchpad ผมว่ามันก็ยังไม่ work เท่าไอ้เนี่ยถ้าจะใช้ Excel นะผมว่านะ
โอเคค่ะขอบคุณค่ะ
ขอโทษทีนะครับ
อาจารย์คะสรุปกราฟที่มันแบ่งเพศอันนั้นยังต้องทำอยู่ไหมคะคือทำไม่ได้อาจาร
ก็
ย์
ลองไปทำ
พู
ดู
ดหน่
ก่
อ
อย น
ได้
ลองไปทำดูก่อนผมลองให้กลับไปทำดูก่อนไง
อ๋อโอเคค่ะ
ครับ
น่าจะหัวหมุนขอบคุณค่ะ
ลองให้กลับไปทำดูก่อน